Alright, I think it's time I come clean. I fucked up. When Demon Slayer first released in 2019, I saw all the reviews raving about how phenomenal it was, how beautiful the animation was, even saw it was animated by Ufotable, the studio that did Fate Zero and Unlimited Blade Works, shows that I personally think are great. Now with all this knowledge about how good Demon Slayer was, you would assume that naturally, I'd go and actually watch it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I did not do that. Instead I ignored it, then proceeded to forget that it even existed. Now let's fast forward to current day. It's 3 AM, I'm lying in bed, can't sleep, so I decided to watch something. Problem is, I don't know what to watch. I decide on some anime. You can't go wrong with some good anime, let's all be honest. So I go on to Crunchyroll, start perusing my options. I spend about a solid 5 minutes staring at One Piece, all 900 plus episodes. It began to stare back at me. Yeah. So as I'm about to hit play, I'm hit with an absolute brainwave. Oh shit, Demon Slayer exists. So I start watching, and people, I have good news. I've repented. My mind has been opened to the infinite possibilities of the universe. I've had a spiritual awakening of epic proportions. And of course what I mean by that is, yeah, Demon Slayer's pretty good. Now just a quick disclaimer, this video is entirely my opinion, and when I say how does it hold up, it's more how does it hold up in terms of the reviews it got at release. So not how does it hold up in terms of anime that's released today, but how does it hold up in terms of when it was released. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the review. This show, this show is absolutely beautiful. Having watched Ufotable's work on various Fate projects, I know what they were capable of, but god damn! The fight scenes in this show are so well done and a complete joy to watch. They really go the full mile every single time. I can really see why people were going nuts about the fight that happens in episode 19. Not many shows, if any, come to mind that look this good. That being said, I haven't seen every anime on the planet, so there definitely could be something that looks better. Now the show does use CGI at times, but before you have a PTSD attack triggered by this fucking thing, the CGI is well done, and while noticeable, it isn't going to detract from your overall enjoyment, as it only really comes up on the rare occasion. The colour that each character brings to the show, in terms of their attacks and designs, really just serves as the icing on the cake to make the visuals even better than they already were. Speaking of character designs, they're all distinctive and look good, and you'll be able to recognise every character at just a glance. Another positive for the visuals is that with the way that the animation is done, you really get to feel the impact and power of every single attack that the characters make. Now, Tanjiro also has the best ace up his sleeve in all of anime, that being the headbutt. This motherfucker's head is so hard that he headbutts a rock and is completely fine. Now while the story doesn't exactly revolutionise the shonen genre, it's not really trying to, it is enjoyable to watch in its simplicity. There's no Attack on Titan style plot twist after plot twist, it's just a straightforward narrative which I personally think works in its favour. So, just a quick general overview of the story if you've been living under a rock. The main character's sister gets turned into a demon, so he joins an organisation of demon slayers to try and find a cure. Got that? Good. I really like how they make the training scenes enjoyable, and you really get a sense of Tanjiro's growth even outside of the fights that he has with actual demons. I also really like the way they try to humanise the different demons that the main characters encounter, giving a reason to why they accepted becoming a demon past just the basic excuse of, oh, they're evil. I like how each demon requires a different strategy and technique to beat them, unlike other shows where it's just who can punch harder. Not looking at anyone in particular, Fairy Tail. Come on, man. So I've been talking mainly about the positives so far, let's move on to something that does frustrate me a little bit, and this is a lack of growth for any of the characters outside of Tanjiro. All the character development does feel like it's been set up to continue into the next part of the story, which I wouldn't quite count as a negative, because it is meant to be the introduction to the world and characters. This isn't exactly a negative in of itself, as we do still have a lot of story to go. It does just have the unfortunate side effect of leaving all the characters that aren't Tanjiro being reduced to mainly one quirk as their personality. For the most part, this isn't too bad and most of the characters are pretty enjoyable. However, the exception is this guy. The entire time that he's on screen, he will just be screaming, crying, or saying something regarding women and how he wants to get married. I really hope the voice actor still has a functioning voice, because while it can be funny, especially in the beginning, it does start to grate on you by the end. Though, like all of the characters, he does get his badass scenes to try and even this all out. All in all, it's a great show that you won't regret watching. I finished it within about 3 days of starting, so there really isn't that much to complain about other than a few annoying scenes with certain characters, like I mentioned before, but this is easily outweighed by the amazing fights as well as the story. Now, settling on a final verdict for the first season of Demon Slayer, I'm going to give it a solid 8. If you haven't already, go and give it a watch, you won't regret it. I guess I've gotta go watch the movie now, don't I? I'm really glad that I can access it through completely legal methods.